Yeah, I'ma need that gold medal, matte black.
How you feeling? You ready to roll? Yeah. Let's go get it, kid. Come on.
Mitchell. Boy, he got up high. Ooh, got it, baby.
Step back by Harden. Indefensible. Harden has an answer for everything.
Can't get too high, can't get too low.
You have to look at yourself in the mirror and figure out how to adjust.
I'm in the boys, making a noise.
It was wintertime. It's on that time of the year.
Welcome to the NBA First Round on ESPN, presented by Mountain Dew. Tonight from Salt Lake City, the Utah Jazz look to make it a series against the Houston Rockets. Houston has dominated games 1 and 2, becoming the 7th team in NBA history to win each of the first 2 games by 20 or more points. A loss by the Jazz tonight, and history says this series is all but over. Take a look at our playoff tracker, brought to you by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. There will be at least one Game 6 in the West, with Denver knocking off San Antonio earlier today. Portland looks to go up 3-1 tomorrow in Oklahoma City. And on ABC tomorrow, the Clippers look to even their series with Golden State. James Harden, reigning MVP. Only the 3rd Rocket ever to win the award, along with Hakeem Olajuwon and Moses Malone. Will he win it again this year? And will Donovan Mitchell break out of this slump? It's been a rough 2 games for the second-year pro out of Louisville, who was so good in the playoffs a year ago. Houston won Game 2 by 32. Game 2 by 20. They led by 20 after 1, and it got worse from there. Dave Pash with Doris Burke, Cassidy Hubbard as well. Well, Doris, when it comes to scoring, James Harden had the best regular season in 30 years in the NBA with the numbers he put up, 36 points per game, and he's been equally impressive in games 1 and 2 of this series.
We are watching one of the best one-on-one players in the history of the NBA at the absolute peak of his powers, and against a Utah defense that prides itself on being stout, he has twisted them in knots to the tune of a triple-double. And the most important thing he has done is in the first quarter throw the haymakers Houston has that has staggered the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, as good as he's been, the stars for Utah, though, have not been good. Donovan Mitchell in particular, who was brilliant as a rookie in the playoffs, Doris, last year. It's been a struggle through the first 2 games here.
Young man is 22 years of age, and there is a ton of weight on his shoulders because he is the driving force behind an offense without a legitimate and consistent second scorer. He is the priority for Houston's defense, and what they have done is made him an inefficient scorer. The guys around him have got to make shots. They are 9 for 41 on open threes. They've got to open some driving lanes for him.
Starting lineups brought to you by Modelo Especial. It'll be the same 5 for Houston, with Paul joining Harden, Gordon, P.J. Tucker, who shot the ball really well in this series, and Clint Capella, one of the most improved players in the NBA the last couple of years. For Utah, a change in the starting 5 with Quinn Snyder inserting Jay Crowder at the power forward position. A little bit smaller lineup for Utah. Let's bring in now the 3rd member of our crew. Here's Cassidy Hubbard.
Thanks, Jay. So much of the Jazz's regular season identity has been defensive togetherness, but as Ricky Rubio told me, they're not together. In fact, he says they haven't had any connection with each other this series, and a big reason is they haven't bought into 100% of the team's strategy against Houston, and that disconnect is, quote, pulling them apart. He also told me he hopes these couple days at home have been a reminder of what they're capable of. The big question, though, is this team even capable of stopping James Harden? Rubio called it one of the toughest challenges of his career, but he's up for the challenge, and he takes it personally. Dave, Doris?
And Cassidy, it's interesting when you say that Utah feels they are disconnected, because they have been one of the most connected teams, especially defensively, the last couple years in the NBA. Tonight's game also available in Spanish on ESPN Deportes. Houston is